Did you guys know a new Pokemon game is coming out in less than 2 months? If you didn't know that, I don't blame you, because I think even Pokemon themselves forgot. I mean, until today, it has been almost 2 months since they even tweeted about this upcoming game. And the worst part is that this lack of enthusiasm for this brand new upcoming Pokemon game is clearly starting to show in the pre-orders, because guess what? It seems like basically nobody pre-ordered it. Like, I'm not being hyperbolic here. It genuinely looks like, from what we can tell, almost nobody pre-ordered the physical edition of this upcoming Pokemon game. At this rate, I won't be surprised if Pokemon Pokopia ends up being the worst launch of any Pokemon game, like, ever. In fact, it seems like Pokemon is starting to get a little bit worried, because they just announced another pre-order bonus on top of the one that they already originally announced. So today, let's do a deep dive and figure out what is going on with Pokemon Pokopia. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Little Miss Grumpy Pants wanted to sleep on my lap while I film this video, but I think she's mad that I keep talking so loudly. She's not happy. I'm keeping her awake, basically, even though I started filming and then she wants to lay on my lap. Like, I'm sorry, Tiger. I know. Maybe if you guys leave a like, I'll give her some treats later for keeping her awake, even though she interrupted me. I don't know. What do you think? You run the place, Tiger? She does. She runs the place. All right, folks, let's jump right in here. This tweet was posted yesterday on January 5th that says, "Get ready to get cozy, gamers. Receive a Ditto Sitting Cuties plush with a pre-order of Pokemon Pokopia for Switch 2 from Pokemon Center." This was posted yesterday, actually less than 24 hours ago at the time of recording this, and this is the first tweet on the official Pokemon Twitter account about Pokemon Pokopia since they revealed Pikachu all the way back on November 13th. That is 53 or 54 days in between tweets about the brand new Pokemon game. Almost 2 months since they tweeted about Pokemon Pokopia. It's like they forgot this thing was even coming out. Like, hello? I know they just released the Mega Dimensions DLC. We'll talk about that later, because that's a mess. People are not happy about it. And of course, they're going to promote that for the holidays, because it's something you could buy right now. So I kind of get it, but like, man, this is a brand new Pokemon game in like a whole new genre for the latest and greatest Switch 2. And I just feel like it's gotten literally no promotion at all. Maybe this is the start of the promotion. Maybe right now that we're in 2026, now they are going to start ramping up the ad spending for Pokemon Pokopia. I don't really know. But anyway, you might be thinking, Omniarch, wait a minute, didn't they already have the pre-orders for this game? Didn't pre-orders for this game already go up a long time ago? And you would be right. Actually, they did announce pre-orders a long time ago. In fact, we have this article here from Nintendo Life that was posted on December 17th that says where to pre-order Pokemon Pokopia. The game is scheduled to launch on Switch 2 exclusively. We'll talk about that later, because that's going to be a big problem. On the 5th of March 2026, bringing a life sim flavor to the Pocket Monsters world as you play as a human looking Ditto, building a town, chatting with fellow Pokemon, and generally enjoying a cozy, colorful crop harvesting life. Okay, note this Switch 2 exclusive is the first game keycard released from Nintendo, so be aware that there is no data on the cartridge itself. And that's why, if you take a look at the tweet we just looked at, the #1 top comment is from Does It Play. We've covered Does It Play here on the channel before. They're a really great resource when it comes to knowing if the physical game is on the disc or cartridge. So if you guys haven't checked them out, check out their database. It's very helpful. Okay, but anyway, they responded saying, "Can we trade the plush for a physical release of the game?" This is obviously a tongue-in-cheek comment on the fact that this physical game, according to the literal case itself, is a game key card, which objectively is not a physical release. You do not physically have the game in your possession. It is merely a license to download the game. Okay, you need the cartridge to download and play it, but the game is not in your possession whatsoever. So anyway, the next Pokemon game is a game key card from Nintendo, which is actually shocking and horrible for the game. But you could see here that even as far back as December 17th, the pre-orders were available for Pokemon Pokopia at Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart. Maybe it was available at about GameStop too, I have no idea. So you've been able to pre-order the game for about 3 weeks now, but what was just tweeted and what was posted yesterday on the official Pokemon website is that if you pre-order the game from the Pokemon Center specifically, you receive a gift with your purchase. Now, this is a gift on top of the pre-order bonus, which we'll talk about in a second here, okay? But you will get, as the image shows, a Sitting Cuties Ditto plush. Now, I don't like the word cuties ever since that documentary came out. It just feels weird. But anyway, if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, you will now get a free plush with your pre-order. Now, this is obviously because the main protagonist or your player character in Pokemon Pokopia is a Ditto, right? So Ditto is like, they're pushing Ditto as like the mascot of this game. In fact, they have flooded the Pokemon Center store online with a bunch of different Ditto pieces of merch, I guess, or memorabilia, whatever you want to call it. There's a $40 15-inch Ditto Comfy Friends plush here. They have a Ditto sculpted mug, which looks like it would be really hard to drink out of because the shape is like, it's weird. This Ditto beanie is kind of cute, I guess. That's kind of cool. I think it's funny, like you could tell what it is immediately. But here we could see the actual Ditto that you get for free if you pre-order the game. It is a $17 5-inch plush, not even 5 inches, right? It's 4.5 inches tall and 4 3/4 inches wide. Okay, so it's a very small, actually no, 5 inches is very big, guys. Okay, listen, 5 inches, your ex is a bitch, don't listen to her. 5 inches is plenty. Okay, 4 3/4, it's huge. But when it comes to a plush, it's not a very big plush. Okay, it's not a very big plush, and also not that many people bought it. We've got 10 ratings here. One person complained about the color being wrong because it shows it as a pink Ditto, but in fact it's not, it's a purple Ditto, so they were mad about that. But really, the lesson that I'm learning here is that they're really trying to make Ditto be a thing. Like, they're really pushing Ditto, and like there's not a lot of reviews for a lot of these products. Even like Jolteon, not that many reviews. Glaceon, Vapor, like I don't think people care about Ditto like they thought people cared about Ditto. But either way, as I said before, this free Ditto plush through the Pokemon Center is the second pre-order bonus. The first pre-order bonus was a Ditto rug that you get in game. Okay, so this is a digital pre-order bonus. This is not an actual rug you get in real life. This is a rug that you get in the game that you can use to like decorate your house or something like that. But here's the thing about this pre-order bonus, and probably the reason nobody cares about it. One, I don't think people really care about Ditto, and second of all, this item is also obtainable through normal gameplay. Item can only be redeemed once, so this isn't even anything like special or unique. Like, even if you don't pre-order the game, you can still get this exact same rug according to the website itself, right? So really, when you pre-order it, you just get the rug earlier or easier or something. Like, I guess you start the game with it instead of having to like get it through normal gameplay. So needless to say, this pre-order bonus nobody cares about, right? So now they've stacked on top of that, okay, fine, we'll give you a free plush, which by the way, they were originally supposed to give out plushes for the Legends ZA pre-orders, and then they changed it a few months later. This was the original promotion for Legends ZA pre-orders at Pokemon Center. You got one of the starters as a plush, and then they quickly changed it to a pin. Okay, so people were not happy about that. I can imagine why, but don't worry folks, surely this time they'll actually give you a plushie. Surely they didn't burn that bridge. But let's ask ourselves, why would they come out 3 weeks later, right? 3 weeks after the initial pre-order announcement, why would they then come out with a new pre-order bonus through the Pokemon Center, right? Well, first of all, I'm sure they would rather you buy it from them than from Walmart or Amazon or whatever, right? So they want to spice up the incentive and really give you a reason to give them your money directly instead of one of their retail partners. But another reason why they might be doing this is because I don't think anyone pre-ordered the game, and I'm not just making that up. If we go to the Amazon listing for Pokemon Pokopia, you'll see right here 900 was bought in the last month. Okay, now obviously the game is not out yet, so this number is going to go up when it actually comes out, but less than 1,000 people have pre-ordered Pokemon Pokopia on Amazon. All right, now clearly you can pre-order it at Best Buy and at Walmart, right? So this isn't the complete picture, but let's be honest, Amazon is probably the most popular place for you to pre-order something like this, at least for my understanding, right? I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments, do you rather pre-order through Best Buy or through Walmart? I mean, it comes down to personal preference. If there's a Walmart or a Best Buy nearby your house or like near your work or something, obviously that's going to be better. But I could speak from my personal experience. I feel like a lot of times it's just easier to pre-order through Amazon because they deliver it on release day, at least where I live. But I want that to sink in. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Only 900 people, 900, not even 1,000, 900 people pre-ordered Pokemon Pokopia. And just for contrast, okay, because this number alone doesn't really mean that much, right? Like, we don't even, like, how many do people even pre-order games anymore? Like, who even knows? For contrast, Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 edition has 1,000 pre-orders. Okay, so let me just make this clear to you guys. This is a re-release of a 6-year-old game for Nintendo Switch 2, and it has more pre-orders than the brand new upcoming Pokemon game. And let's be very clear, these are in the exact same niche. Anyone who is interested in Animal Crossing is probably interested in Pokemon Pokopia and vice versa. Okay, in fact, Pokemon Pokopia ideally should be more popular because, again, this is a re-release and it's $65, so it is more expensive than when the game first came out. Animal Crossing New Horizons came out on the Nintendo Switch in March of 2020, so here we are 6 years later. It's getting a $5 price increase, and it has got more pre-orders than the upcoming Pokemon game in the same gaming niche. What is that? People genuinely do not care about Pokemon Pokopia. There's just no other way to cut it, right? In fact, if you want to look at games no one cares about, Mario Tennis Fever, 500. We have 500 pre-orders. This game's coming out before Pokemon. This game is coming out sooner than Pokemon Pokopia, and the pre-orders 500. Now, I think the pre-orders for Mario Tennis actually opened sooner than Pokemon Pokopia, which is why, like, everyone probably pre-ordered it a while ago if they cared. That's probably why this number's so low. But if we want to compare this to an actual Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 edition has over 20,000 purchases in the last month. This is obviously because of holiday, right? This is Christmas. We just exited the holiday season. Everyone bought this game as a gift, so that's why it's 20k. Honestly, I thought it would be higher than that, frankly, for a Pokemon game for its first holiday season on the latest Switch console. Really, it should be more than this, but I digress. The point is, less than 5% of people who bought Legends ZA last month are interested in Pokemon Pokopia, at least according to the pre-orders. Now, let's be very clear and get this out of the way here, okay? One of the reasons why the pre-orders are so low is because people don't really pre-order that much anymore, right? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. There's no real reason to pre-order this game, especially because it's a game key card. You're not getting a physical version no matter what. So a lot of people probably just said, okay, fine, if I'm not going to get it physical either way, then I might as well just get it digitally, right? I think that's a very logical reason as to why this number could be so low. But that's definitely not the only reason here, because let's not forget that Pokemon Legends ZA is the most recent Pokemon game, and we're still sitting at a 4.7 user score. People were not happy about Pokemon Legends ZA. If we come over to OpenCritic, we'll see the game has a 67% on OpenCritic as well. So frankly, Pokemon Legends ZA rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And on top of that, we have tweets like these about the Mega Dimensions DLC. Remember, that was the $30 DLC they charged you before the game even came out, by the way, and the DLC launched in December. All right, so we've got the original tweet said, did anyone else think the Legends ZA DLC was kind of bad? Almost 500,000 views and 2,500 likes on this, by the way. So this definitely resonated, and this person quote tweeted them and said, I loved Legends ZA, that's shocking, but didn't even bother getting the DLC because 1, Lumio somehow looks uglier, 2, gameplay looks tedious, 3, timed catching zones, 4, non-existent story. Pokemon releasing this is nasty work. It's gonna go down as one of the worst products they've ever released. Big surprise, dog shit DLC comes out for a dog shit video game. Who could have guessed, right? Who could have possibly saw that coming? A $70 game with $30 DLC, literally just cut content to feed back to the slop enjoyers. I mean, what did you expect, right? They're just disrespecting their fans at this point because they know that they can get away with it. This person responded to the original post saying, I'm really enjoying it, not understanding why people hate it so much. The response is, it's just boring and grayscale to me, but I genuinely thought I was in the minority here. This person says, well, yes. And then they cut out the part where it's not the DLC, it's just Legends ZA. This person said, didn't even finish it because I'm so bored of the grind. This person says, yes, very repetitive, haven't even bothered to finish it yet. No, you're not the only one in the world, especially for the price. Yeah, $30 highway robbery. Objectively, there's no way to argue that. Person says, got to right before you have to battle Mega Hawlucha and haven't touched it since. So this person says, yeah, their plan was to keep you grinding for dozens of hours to distract you from the fact the DLC is devoid of any actual depth or substance. It's like they took a small glass of milk, then watered it down to make a gallon. Absolutely based, by the way. Here's another tweet, 1.4 thousand likes, almost 100,000 views. I've decided I hate the Mega Dimension DLC like a lot. Grinding for points is whatever. I just can't stand having to reset to make good donuts. Why are there no recipes that we can make for desired outcomes? The RNG of it all is so frustrating for no reason. So in a world where people didn't even really like the game, and then you release, just objectively, like, can we all just be honest here? You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. It is lazy cut content for $30 that they charged you before the game came out. The DLC is somehow even worse than the actual game. Is it so hard to draw the conclusion that maybe a lot of people are actually burned by Pokemon? Like for me, it was Scarlet and Violet, right? Like Scarlet and Violet were just so bad that I didn't buy the DLC. I forced myself to beat the game. It was like pulling teeth. And by the way, the ending of the game was like the best part of the game. So you have to slog through 95% garbage just to get a decent ending, which I'll give them that. But the game itself as a complete package was just so hideous that I was like, I'm not buying the DLC. Like they don't deserve any more of my money because this was god awful. And that's why Pokemon Legends EA was the first Pokemon game I haven't bought in my entire life. I need you to understand, this entire shelf, this whole thing is all the Pokemon games, every single one of them except for Black 2 because the price of that thing went up like crazy and I don't need to play that again. But anyway, Pokemon crossed the line with Scarlet and Violet for me, just releasing obviously just low quality, incomplete. It was just not good. Okay, the game was not good. I didn't buy the DLC. I didn't buy Legends EA. I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that a lot of people bought Legends EA because they saw the new like battle mechanics and everything and they thought, oh well, I liked Legends Arceus, I'll give this one a try. And they probably got burned with that. And if they didn't get burned with ZA, they got burned with the Mega Dimension DLC for $30. So I think it's totally reasonable that at this point we've got a lot of Pokemon fans that are just fed up. Right now, let's be clear, most Pokemon fans are still probably gonna buy this. Like, let's be honest, like, you know it, I know it, everyone knows it. The game is still probably gonna sell super well, right? But I think that's another really big reason why this game is just not getting pre-ordered and why they have to give you a free plush just to convince you, right? And on top of that, right, like again, let's be very honest with ourselves here. This is not a traditional Pokemon game. This is not Gen 10. This is not a Legends game. This is a completely different gameplay style. It's not a turn-based game. It's not an open world RPG. Like they're trying something new here, right? And so I think a lot of the casual fans maybe aren't interested in this, right? Like all they care about is the new Pokemon release that comes out every couple of years. They didn't buy Legends EA. They didn't buy whatever. They're just waiting for Gen 10, right? They don't care about all the spin-offs. They don't care about Pokemon Snap or Pokemon Go or any of that stuff. They just play the mainline stuff, right? They're not going to buy this game and they're not going to pre-order it, right? So like, let's be real here. That's another big component probably as to why this thing is just not getting pre-ordered. But no matter what the reason is as to why people are just not interested in pre-ordering this game, this is not looking good for Pokemon. And the reason for that is because if you guys didn't know, despite how awful the game looks, this is a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. You cannot play this game on the original Nintendo Switch. What does that mean for Pokemon? That means they cannot rely on the 160 million Nintendo Switch install base to move units of this Pokemon game, right? All they can rely on is the number of people who have a Switch 2. So first of all, this game will probably sell very well in Japan. I think it will because lots of people in Japan have a Switch 2. The console is doing very well over there. It's doing better there than pretty much anywhere else in the world, if we're being honest with ourselves. They had a great December and a pretty good November, if I remember correctly. Outside of Japan, obviously the Switch 2 did not do very well, at least for November. We'll see what the December data is. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, no idea. Of course, retailers had to lower the price of the Switch 2 throughout the entirety of December, especially the Mario Kart bundle. but we did see even the base model got a discount at Micro Center, which was then price matched at Best Buy, but I've already talked about that in previous videos. My point is they don't have 160 Switch 1 users that are going to go out and buy this, right? They've got at best maybe 15 million Switch 2s out in the wild that are in customers' hands right at this moment in time. Now this game's going to come out in March 5th, so who knows how many Switch 2s are going to be out there at that point. But I mean, really, we don't have a mind-blowing game coming out between now and then as far as we know. I mean, maybe there's going to be a Nintendo Direct soon that's going to announce that Twilight Princess HD is coming out and Ocarina of Time HD is coming out and all that stuff and whatever, but maybe, but I don't know. My point is the install base of the Switch 2 is significantly smaller than the install base of the Switch 1. In fact, at the time of recording this, it's about 10%, right? About 10% of Switch 1 owners have a Switch 2, or I should say at least 10% of that number have a Switch 2, right? So the install base is tiny for this thing, and the people aren't pre-ordering it, right? Now, again, there's not a huge reason to pre-order the game, so who knows? Maybe this thing will fly off the shelves when it comes out. I mean, really, frankly, I would not be surprised. It's a Pokemon game. Like, what are we talking about? But with the size of the install base for the Switch 2 and with the abysmal pre-order numbers right now, which by the way, this is physical only, right? We don't know what the digital pre-orders are. Maybe there's a lot, although again, digital pre-orders is like the most useless thing ever. Like there's actually no reason to digitally pre-order unless you have slow internet and you need to download it ahead of time or something. But really, like digital pre-orders are a kind of a joke. There's no point in doing that. So there's no reason to assume that like digital pre-orders, it's not like there's 900 pre-orders here and digital pre-orders are 5 million, right? Like there's just no way that that's the case. But anyway, my point is this kind of feels like the perfect storm to make Pokemon Pokopia the worst Pokemon launch we probably have ever seen, at least in modern day. Like I don't even know what else could even rival this, right? Like maybe did the new Pokemon Snap sell well? I don't even know, right? Like you'd have to compare it to another one of the spin-offs or something like that. But either way, things are not looking good for Pokemon Pokopia as far as what we can tell right now, 2 months away from launch. Okay, now let's take a look at what people are saying about the new pre-order bonus for Pokemon Pokopia here at the Pokemon Center. This was posted about a day ago over in r/cozy gamers, saying that the pre-order is live, and the top comment here, this is the first Pokemon game that I'm going to wait to read reviews for before buying, and if I buy it, it will be the first digital Pokemon game I've ever purchased because the key card thing is bullshit. Absolutely based. This person, honestly, I feel like this is what a lot of people feel right now. I know that there's only 14 upvotes. Really, the entire post only has 27. This isn't a very popular post, but literally more than half the people that even upvoted the entire thread agreed with this top comment, right? And again, like I said, I feel like a lot of people feel like they've been burned from recent Pokemon games, especially the Mega Dimensions DLC. It was $30, which is just insane. I think a lot of people are going to wait. They're going to be hesitant, not only because the recent Pokemon games have not been good, but also because, like I said before, this is not a traditional Pokemon game. So people are probably going to wait, maybe watch some gameplay, see what the game even is like, what it looks like, how in-depth is it? Are you going to get 25 hours out of it, 50 hours out of it, 150 hours? Like people have no idea what to expect from this thing. So I think there's a lot of skepticism going into this game for multiple different reasons. This person says, what do folks think are the chances they'll release a special edition Switch 2 for this game? I don't have the new console yet, and I'm wondering if I should hold off on this pre-order in case they launch a special edition. Honestly, I think the odds are pretty much zero. The only thing that they could do is make it a pack-in digital download like they did with Mario Kart World or with Legends ZA, but quite frankly, it just doesn't seem like they would have announced that by now. I think I could be wrong, but I mean, didn't they announce that Legends ZA would have a bundle on day one when they announced Legends ZA was ready for pre-order or something? I feel like they would have said it already. They want people to know that a potential $500 purchase is coming down the pipeline, right? Like you can impulse purchase a $70 game, but you're probably not going to impulse a bundled console. So they would want to give you as much time in advance to know about that as possible, right? That's my guess. I don't know. And if you're thinking that they're going to do like an Animal Crossing style console or something, you're probably out of your mind. Like we have not seen them do this for the Switch 2 at all yet. They didn't do it for Mario Kart. They didn't do it for Legends ZA. I don't know why they would do it for Pokemon Pokopia. They should do it. I think more special editions like this would be really cool, but I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that they will be doing this. So yeah, this person says, too bad it's a game key card. Actually, do you still need the key card after download? Yes, you do, which is why it's so stupid. It's the worst of both worlds. And then we've got this comment here. I want to play, but I don't want to get a Switch 2. Okay, so these three comments right here, this one, the game key card one, and the top one are like the three biggest things going against Pokemon right now. People are skeptical about another Pokemon game with shit reviews and just it being a bad game. They don't like game key cards, and they don't have a Switch 2 yet, because why would they have a Switch 2? They didn't need one for Legends EA, and there's no big system seller game for the Switch 2 yet anyway. I know Mario Kart World is solid, I know Donkey Kong Bonanza is solid, but it ain't Breath of the Wild. Let's just be honest with ourselves. There's not a big system seller for the Switch 2 yet. So a lot of people don't even have a Switch 2 yet, and this ain't gonna be the system seller. I'll tell you that much. This is not gonna do it. Clearly only 900 people have already pre-ordered it. Here's another post on Reddit. For anyone looking to pre-order, you can get a free gift. This was 5 hours ago. They're talking about the new Ditto plush, and the top comment, are they putting the game on the cartridge? Nope. This user says, not buying the game out of spite. The fact that it's a game key card is ridiculous. Love this response. Oh, come on, they're only the most successful game series of all time that has franchised into 1,000 other markets. It's not like they're made of money. I mean, come on, what can you expect, guys? Like, what the heck? Really, what I've learned from all of this is that there are two types of Pokemon fans: the ones that agree that I was right about Legends EA all along, and those that just haven't realized it yet. Maybe Pokemon Pokopia will be their wake-up call, but I'm not holding my breath. Anyway, guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, consider dropping a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel a ton, and you might think you're subscribed because you've seen a ton of my videos, but you're actually not. Double check down below.